Hello, I'm Sonia Folayan, and this is the Mind and Manna channel here on YouTube. And this channel is for Black women who are 55 years of age and older, who are sick and tired of working twice as hard and coming up with half, or who have spent a lot of their time tending to the needs of others and have found that they've kind of placed themselves last. And so I love to help them to work on their finances without shame so that they can level up to a life of freedom, travel, rest, and ease. So I'd like to share some things with you today about why I decided Mexico was the move for me. Please listen until the end. And if this content is something that is helpful to you, please like, share, comment, and hit the subscribe button so that you can know about the next videos that I submit. So here we go. I'd like to talk to you about the 10 reasons why Mexico was the move for me. And I've written a few notes so that I don't forget. The first reason, number one, is that the move to Mexico was a good one for me because I had a support system here. Two support systems, actually. I came initially as an artist on a residency. I spent 2.5 months here in the summer of 2021. And I had such a wonderful experience here on the ground that I really sort of found myself here. And before I left to come back to my home in the United States, which was in Charlotte, I actually secured an apartment and made an agreement with myself to move before the end of the year. That was in August, and I officially moved in December of 2021. I can't stress enough how important it is to get time on the ground before you make a move. A lot of people ask me questions. What was it like? What do you do? How do I get this? How do I secure that? The truth is you really need to be here and get your feet on the ground. Once your feet are on the ground, so many things will open up for you. You'll find unpublicized places for that have rent that's in whatever your price range is. You'll get a chance to know the communities, and you'll be able to make an informed decision. But this is not something that you should make through the eyes and experiences of someone else. You've got to get your feet on the ground here, and then you can make your decision. The second one, and the other thing I want to say is I had two communities. I came as an artist, so there was a very receptive artist community here that was very welcoming to me and supportive and affirming to me and my work. And the second is there has been a growing community of Black women here for some time. There have been several waves of Black women to come. Some women have been here for 30 years or more, and now there are new groups that are forming. And I actually formed an accountability group with another woman, Coach Donna Jones. We came out of the Exodus Summit in 2021, I believe it was, having participated in the previous year. And we established an accountability group for women who were wanting to come to the state of Jalisco, Guadalajara, and the Lakeside area. So I had two very supportive groups that I felt immediately a part of, which made my transition a lot easier. The third one, and this is an important one for me, is I'm only a direct flight away from my family. In case of emergency, I can get a flight from Guadalajara to Charlotte or to Kansas City or where my family is within a matter of hours. About 3 hours is what it can take with a direct flight, 3.5 hours. So that was very important for me as well. The fourth one is I really found myself here and my culture. I always say I didn't realize what I was missing until I found it, but I found a certain peace and joy in Mexico. Civil conversation. People actually say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how are you, how can I help you? People are genuinely helpful. There's not the anger and the angst and the political polarization that I experience when I come back to the U.S. It's a gentle culture that respects elders, reveres children, which is so much, very much like what I experienced when I was growing up. Also, Africa is embedded all throughout Mexico. It's in the food, it's in the language, it's in the culture, it's in the music. I can see it often in the phenotypic features of people. So it felt and it feels familiar to me. I grew up in Kansas with a lot of Latin classmates and friends all through high school. My best friend, I really felt like I became a member of their family. My best friend was first generation Mexican American, and I spent so much time in her family's kitchen and with her mom and her brothers. So much of what I experienced growing up was just felt like a natural progression here. I had also been working on Spanish really since high school. So it has, and I always wanted an immersive experience in terms of learning the language. So this was just a perfect opportunity for me to continue to work on my Spanish speaking skills as well as other languages. The third one, which is sort of related, is the history of Mexico resonates with me too. It was, they abolished slavery officially right after the country was established as an independent nation. And not only that, the second president of Mexico was an Afro-Mexican man, Vicente Guerrero, who was very, very proud of his heritage and who abolished slavery officially. Slavery was officially abolished in 1837, I believe. The other thing that I really, really love is every town, every pueblo, every major city has a street named after him. And that is just, I just think that's awesome and affirming as well. Okay, the next reason, number 4, is I am an artist. I'm a textile artist. I'm also a musician, in addition to the other side of my self, which is who is a coach. But I am an artist, and I'm a textile artist. I'm an indigo dyer and weaver. And I have access to so many materials, workmanship, craftsmanship. I can have things built and constructed here in ways that I just could not afford. To be honest, I just could not afford to do some of the things I can do in Mexico that are just unavailable to me in the United States. So as an artist, being able to access photographers and design artists, to be able to move into different media. There are foundries here. There are a number of pottery factories, well-known, world-renowned factories here that I have access to as an artist that I just simply would not have at home. And also being able to have workmen work for me, being able to employ people at a good rate here, a living wage, and yet being able to afford it. So that's also a very important reason for me. The next one is, as a textile designer, Mexico is a textile artist's dream. There are so many weavers and fabricators here. Textiles are everywhere. It's in every aspect of life. the weavings, the backstrap loom artists, the dyers and weavers all throughout the country, especially in the area of Oaxaca. It's just it's a cornucopia for the senses, and certainly I enjoy it as an artist. The next thing I wanted to say is the cost of living, which is a very important thing. It is less expensive in many ways. Mexico was not cheap. I don't want to imply that. I think many people think it's cheap to move to Mexico. It's not cheap. You're going to pay wherever it is that you live. The cost of housing is going up everywhere. However, I would say it is less stressful for me in Mexico because of where I am at my stage of life. There is almost a 20-to-1 ratio in terms of the dollar and the peso. So my dollars go farther, my pesos go farther. And I'm starting to learn how to think in terms of pesos and not dollars now. And when I'm thinking in pesos, I realize Mexico is really not cheap. So I think it's important for people to think about that. But I can also say that my dollar does go farther. And because I reached retirement age without a fat 401k cushion and a big retirement cushion, I am, building businesses to supplement the Social Security that I have, and I've been working on making sure that I meet the financial requirement for residency, because I do have digital businesses in addition to my brick and mortar studio work. It is possible for me to make up that gap and live very comfortably in Mexico. The number 7 would be access to medical facilities and state-of-the-art services. Mexico was very big on medical tourism. Dentists, there are state-of-the-art dental offices, medical professionals. The care and attention that one is given is excellent. I had a recent consult with a gynecologist because I'm shopping around now for providers here in Mexico, and the provider spent over 2 hours. She talked with me for over 2 hours explaining her services and answering questions, and that has been my experience. And when I talk with others, that's what they say, that there's a genuine concern about the whole body. People, medical professionals will talk with you, look you in the eye, answer your questions. They're not rushing you out of the office. They want to make sure that you have your needs met, and that, of course, is a very, very important part of medical care and providing services when you can establish a good relationship with your provider. Number 8, Mexico is an artist's dream. There are over 180 art museums in Mexico City alone. Art is everywhere. Hand-painted signs, the textiles, the music, the food is artfully arranged. The arts are elevated in a way here that I just really, really appreciate. And for me, being surrounded by art and peace and music and culture, all of those are part of my own self-care and really contribute to my mental health as well. And I'm also inspired and challenged as an artist to take my work to new places and to challenge myself in new ways. Number 9, I love the availability of fresh fruit and vegetables that are non-GMO affected. Every community, from the smallest pueblo to the largest city, fruit and vegetables are very easy to find and access. that's an important thing for me. I've also enjoyed being able to experience fruit that I've not experienced before because they're locally grown here. Where I am, avocados grow off the trees. They fall on the ground, the same as mangoes. And I've even seen oranges on the trees too. I believe in the fall is when I saw them. They are green, so I was kind of confused at first, but you know they're real oranges, not pumped with chemicals as we are so accustomed to stateside. So having access to reasonably priced fruit and vegetables is also very important to me. And I think the last thing that I just want to say, because I just came up with a list just off the top of my head, but Mexico is a vast, vast country with over 32 states, large states. So if you want a large international city experience, you can get that in Mexico City, in Cuernavaca, in Querétaro. There are so many large cities with every convenience that you can think of. Some of the larger cities have all of the big box stores that we know about in the United States. I even found a Woolworth store in Cuernavaca. So you have access to all the modern stores. If you are into high-end stuff, if you want Chanel and Gucci and all that, you know, you can find that in the larger cities. And in the smaller towns, you can go as small as you want to go. The more small the community, the more Pueblo-esque the community. You're going to find more streets that are not paved. You're going to find probably some maybe issues with water, maybe not. You're going to find more brown people in the smaller communities. You're going to find more expats, of course, in the larger cities. And there is starting to be some controversy in Mexico City, especially where a lot of the expats, most of whom are European expats, who are complaining about services not being catered to them. So Mexico City and some of the other towns are starting to have some concerns about the expectation that these communities are supposed to change who they are for the communities that are coming in. I just want to also say too that I don't call myself an expat. That's probably a talk for another video. But there are connotations to that term. I just call myself a Black woman living abroad. So those are my top 10 reasons why Mexico was the move for me. I just want to really stress the importance of coming for a visit, taking a sojourn, doing some exploration before you make a move. But it certainly has been a wonderful move for me. I have not regretted a moment of being here. That's pretty much it. So if this has been helpful for you, please do like, comment, share, subscribe. I really am interested in your comments. In fact, that's why I made this video, because I have gotten so many comments about why I decided to come here. So that's it for now. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you soon.